Previously on X-Men.
It's like everybody's hopes and anticipations are up, during New Year, especially this New Year, because, it's a new decade, it's 2020, clear vision, eye doctors can have a ball with that. I guess what I thought was anticipation was anxiety. I also didn't go to the eye doctor at all this year, so there's that. Okay, let's just get into it. It's January 20th. I go to the theater to see the new Bad Boys for Life movie, which is the third Bad Boys movie after like 17 years of them being on hiatus or, going back and forth. Get out the movie theater, I've enjoyed it. I really thought it was fun, my spirits are lifted. Get in the car, turn on the radio, Future and Drake's new song, Life is Good, is playing. And, it feels like life is actually good. Something about this new year is just feeling like very hopeful and just feeling like this is the year that, breakthroughs will be made and that, accomplishments will be achieved. I don't know if that's saying the same thing twice, but still, accomplishments are to be made this year. Then January 26th rolls around and you lose a lot of that momentum and high that you were on. Like, you could probably you can still make it through this year and, you can still do what you want. But that is a way to begin a new year. But it was actually really just a prelude, because then March rolls around and basically that's your year. This has been the shortest, longest year of my entire life. So much has happened in this year that, I remember the Aaron Hernandez documentary was on this year. That Tyler Perry movie, A Fall from Grace, that was this year. I look back, I saw their review of it, and that was back in January. It doesn't even feel like it's been that long. But at the same time, it feels like it's been that long. It feels longer. But what can I say about this year that hasn't already been said? Like, I was there, you were there, we all were there. Like, the only reason you would count on things that happened in 2020 was, if you're telling your kids or your grandkids about that one year where it was just like wild. Like honestly, the year 2020 is what the year 2000 thought it was gonna be. And I just really had to really document, was this year as bad as, we think? And then, I just look over some stuff. You got Kobe, Corona, or due to COVID, murder hornets, cop killings, riots, anti-maskers, UFOs confirmed, movie delays, Chadwick Boseman, voter suppression, stop the count, Alex Trebek, and my last and least favorite, the photograph. And these are the only things that were trending for a long period of time and people still bring up. And when people first go to 2020, they think of these. Nobody's thought about John Lewis, Little Richard, Naya Rivera, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. As soon as she died, they were already trying to replace her before she even got on the ground. So, and notice I said something crazy UFOs were confirmed this year, and it was only took up a little small amount of the grand scheme. You know how crazy a year has to be for somebody to say UFOs are real, and it's oh, okay. What else is new? And honestly, just looking back at this year, it kind of says a lot about us as where we are as a people and as a human race. We really have shown how, I guess, ignorant, but ignorant sounds like a nice word. We're some lost souls out here. Remember over the summer when everybody cared about black people for that quick second? And a lot of attention was trying to be drawn to the real issue that's always been around of black people being hunted by the police and everything. And the most we could get out of all that was Aunt Jemima being banned and Girlfriends on Netflix. We can't do anything about the killings. But here's UPN Classics on Netflix. Except the Steve Harvey Show, which I don't see why they didn't put that on. They can put One-on-One, but you don't put the Steve Harvey Show. I'm getting off subject, but still, they should put the Steve Harvey Show on Netflix, because you put One-on-One on Netflix, put Steve Harvey Show on Netflix. It's a superior show, don't at me. And then you see situations like that, and if you're a normal person, you would think, well, maybe we should empathize and sympathize with, cultural groups that, we're not a part of, and, acknowledge that, what they deem as appropriate and inappropriate, or, just what's respectful and everything like that. And then you're introduced to those group of people who think Nick Cannon didn't say anything wrong about Jewish people, and they were just shutting him down because, you know, he was speaking the truth when he knows nothing about Jewish people. Like, 2020 has really shown me the selfishness of people, and people really just don't care outside of themselves, which lead to people who just don't wear masks because they feel like their voices are being shut down. Like, you know how lost you gotta be in order to protest safety? Another thing I learned this year, people love to complain. Like, remember when lockdown happened and, you know, they said you had to quarantine for 1 month. It was like, oh man, 1 month? Dang. Alright. Then we got to the second month and it was like, okay, we don't want to quarantine anymore. It was like, alright, we're going to open stuff limited capacity. Okay. Then they opened everything to 100% capacity. Then it was like, okay, well, everybody wear a mask. Then people didn't want to wear a mask. Then it was like, okay, well, make sure y'all socially distance. But people still want to go to the club. And then it's like, we get the vaccine, and it's like, hey, y'all, get this vaccine. Then people are like, well, I don't trust that vaccine. But then when rich people and politicians get the vaccine, everybody's like, how come we don't get the vaccine? And then when they're like, you want the vaccine? They'd be like, nah, I don't want the vaccine. They're gonna be a microchip in me. You have a phone right here. Like, what is wrong with people, man? Like, seriously. Then you had this stupid election year. Then on top of that, one stimulus back in April. Then another one 8 months later, which is half the size of the first one and stuff. Like, you know, this year has really just shown just, you know, like, hey, how tough are you? Like, if you didn't learn something this year, then maybe you were in a coma or, you know, maybe like senile or something. I don't know, but if you didn't learn something this year, you know, I'm really questioning some things about you. But was the year all bad? I mean, The Last Dance came out and that was pretty good. I got a lot of extra sleep. Well, I wake up early, but you know, I got to lay down a lot this year. Well, the story is, if you haven't learned anything about, you know, the world or, you know, yourself spiritually or mentally this year, then honestly, I don't think you're gonna be in good shape for these next couple years to come. Like, a lot of people have been saying, like, man, I can't wait till 2020 is over. Thank God this year will be over. I mean, who's to say 2021 will be any better? Knock on wood. Like, I love going to the movies. I still might not be able to go to the movie theaters next year. Next year, we got to go into it thinking just with the possibility that anything, you know, is possible. Like, anything could happen in this life that we're living in. Like, when I made that video last year about New Year's resolutions and everything, like, I went there from the perspective of, when you make a resolution, you don't have to wait till the new year to make a change. You can make a change today if you want. This year, with my thing with New Year's resolutions, is more like, you don't know what could happen. Like, you honestly don't know. Like, don't limit yourself to the year, because as you can see, God can really tell you that, you know, He got other things in store for you. So just make a goal and try to get to that goal, and, you know, as long as you work for it, you'll get there when you're supposed to, because honestly, a lot of people, I'm sure, are feeling like they did not reach it and this year, and you probably just weren't meant to for this year. You're probably just meant to just chill out and just sit still. Whew, I need a cigarette after all this, Jesus. But yeah, you guys, you know, hey, that was 2020. Made 2021 be better, and yeah. Happy New Year. Just treat 2021 like you should treat COVID, with respect.
Was healing. You can't keep telling me stuff a little bit. You wait 3 months, then you tell me something else. Then you wait 2 weeks, and you tell me something else. You torturing me,